ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Raven, this is my nest, and welcome back to another Ziggurat tutorial. And today we're starting what I would call a trilogy of tutorial about the weapon specialist characters of Ziggurat. And the first one that we're going to get is without a doubt the hardest to master of the three, Algorab the Alchemist, the orange weapon specialist. And the reason why I say he is the hardest to master is because of both his starting perk and the fact that he has lower than normal movement speed. The movement speed thing is just stated in the description, slow and steady. The other thing that really kind of cripples him is the fact that he has level 3 of alchemy affinity, because it decreases the damage on both his spells and his staves, and really boosts up the damage on his alchemy weapon. So he's really a specialist. So let's look at his base stats to start with. Algorab starts with a normal, absolutely normal 100 health. That scales at 5 points per level up, which is standard. He also starts with 60 mana per pool, which is 10 higher than the normal 50, but it also scales at 5 points per level up. So scaling is normal, but he starts with an extra 10 base. His experience scaling seems normal to me. He seems to gain XP at the exact same rate as every other standard character, which is good. His wand is kind of weak, as the description says, and we can look at it right here. It only has 30 mana instead of the standard 50, which is kind of bad because it has higher fire rate than normal, so you can deplete your mana pool really quickly. It has a little bit less damage per shot than the standard wand, but if you don't miss any shots, it ends up being about the same DPS. You're just going to run out of mana a whole lot faster. But the thing is, it's kind of easy to miss your shots with it, because even if I'm not moving my mouse and I start shooting, you're going to notice there's a little bit of spread on his wand. So it makes it kind of hard to really make every shot count. It's really more of a spray and pray kind of weapon, especially in its alternate fire mode, which is even more spread for even more fire rate, and it can last for about, I don't know, not even a second to deplete your whole one mana pool. So I'm gonna cut here and go into the armory, and then we're going to be able to speak about weapon choices, perk choices, amulet choices, with a couple of little pocket strategies that you might want to go for when you play with Algorab. Okay, so here we are in the armory, and we're going to start discussing weapon choices for Algorab, because it's really weapon choice, despite the fact that the weapons are, randomly generated and everything. You still have to prioritize the weapons if you get a second choice of the same type of weapon. So we're going to start with the most important weapon for Algorab, his alchemical weapon, his orange weapon. And here you really want to abuse his alchemy affinity. So you want to go for a big AoE, hard-hitting, room-clearing weapon. The most damaging thing you can get, which means you usually want to avoid anything that has status effects of any kind, in favor of just more damage. The Firestorm Grenade is an extremely good example of this. A ton of base damage Nice big AoE. It can kill a lot of stuff at once. Another weapon that I absolutely love on Algorab, and I strongly believe, that this is the best weapon you can get on him, is the Anguish Cannon, which happens to be my favorite weapon in the game, but the thing is, this weapon it shoots a massive ball of energy in front of you that just decimate enemies, which damage is even more amplified by your alchemy affinity, and can clear out rooms within seconds. Magma Blaster, also a pretty good weapon, although you have to be careful because of how slow Algorab is. You have to take for granted that you're gonna be fighting at close range, so anything that is likely to explode in your own face and damage you is to be used very carefully. So Magma Blaster, Flame Mortar, Fire Weaver grenades, these are all weapons that can be very good with Algorab, but you have to be even more careful about your positioning, because otherwise you're just going to damage yourself. Let's go for the other weapons now. The thing that you want to do here is you really want to stack up your damage on your orange weapon, because that's where it's going to go. One thing that you can abuse and exploit with Algorab's build and perks is the fact, you know, if you use a poison spell, the spell damage itself is lowered, but the damage over time that the poison does is not affected. It still does the same amount of damage despite the alchemy affinity. It's just poison. It doesn't matter. The source of the poison doesn't matter. It's really just the fact that you applied it. So you want to have status effects, as many as you can, on all of your other weapons and even your amulets if you can. So Archangel's Embrace, a freeze, a good damage, it pierces through enemies, very good weapon here if you don't hit your own face with it. Another very good weapon, and another weapon that almost everyone has unlocked. So even for beginners, if you get Algorab, Frozen Soul is probably the ideal spell for you, because it's close range, it hits hard, it has a very good freeze, pretty much 100% freeze chance on its alternate attack, and it allows you to create separation. Because you're slow, you need to make your enemies slower than you are and kill them before they get to you. So Frozen Soul, extremely good weapon for Algorab. If we keep moving on, Wraith Rings, another very, very good spell for him, because it's a homing weapon. He can't miss, and it has a stun chance. So again, alternate attack, more rings, less fire rate, bigger chance of stun. Very good weapon. Poison. That's all there is to say. Poison weapon. That's good. Oh, Dragon Bile. The most effective close range poison spell that you can get is Dragon Bile. So a very, 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 very good spell for him. If only to get rid of all the freaking carrots that get close to you. Moving on to staves. Same drill here. For staves you want status effects as much as possible. There are two very, very good weapons that you can get here for Mr. Algorab in terms of applying status effects consistently and in a deadly manner. Serpent Staff. Poison damage. Very powerful staff at close range. That is built for Algorab, basically. The other staff you probably want to go for is the Staff of Atlantis. Staff of Atlantis, a good freezing staff. High chance of freezing, basically 100% chance of freeze with the right-click attack. So very good. And again, allows you to create separation over and over and over again. Archon Staff is a good weapon in close range, although I'm not a fan of it. It can be very effective. It's a decent pocket pick here. And Solar Staff, finally, is actually a very good weapon for Algorab, because it kind of allows you to play the long-range sniper kind of game, and it has a stun. So again, separation, and it goes through enemies. It pierces through, very accurate. So if you're good with a sniper kind of weapon, the Solar Staff is actually a very good pick here. Moving on to perks, there are a couple of principles that you want to go for here with Algorab, and it all depends on the strategy you decide to pick. What you're going to want to do basically is try to compensate for only one of the two weaknesses I've just said. Either you try to go for movement speed, either you go for movement speed buffs, so haste. If you get haste, it's probably a good pick, if only to try to compensate for that. But if you start picking haste, you gotta prioritize it over everything else. Almost. Or the other way, which is the way I tend to prefer, is really by trying to compound Algorab's strength with alchemy, and the rest is all about positioning. So, obviously, Alchemy Affinity, you're starting with level 3 of it, but if you can get it up to the maximum level 5, there it is. Alchemy Affinity, which is basically your starting perk. If you get your hands on level 4, level 5 of this thing, go for it. Because anyways, for your spell and your staff, you're mostly counting on status effects more than pure damage. The burst is going to come from your alchemy weapon, and you got to focus on it. So if you can amplify it even more, go for it. Otherwise, if you actually heed my advice about having as many status effects on your other weapons and other perks, obviously, one of the biggest perks that you can grab if you have any occasion for it whatsoever is Torture. Increased duration of state effects, which means your poison's gonna last longer, it's gonna tick more, your freezes are gonna last longer, your stuns are gonna last longer, creating more separation and allowing you to reposition yourself better. Because enemies will get up close if you don't pick haste, Poison Aura is a must pick. If you see it, you take it 100% of the time, no matter what else spawns. Especially if you can combine it with Torture, this is huge, because it'll kill everything that's anywhere close to you very quickly. In a similar vein, Magic Pulse is also a must pick if you can get it. It shoots magic projectiles around you every single time you pick up a mana crystal, which means a lot of kills for anything that is close to you. Very good perk. On the same topic again of creating separation, revenge. Every single time you take a hit, stunning shockwave around you. If you can combine it with Torture, even better. It allows you to peel off enemies off of you to compensate for your lack of speed. After that, it really becomes more about pocket picks and a couple of other perks that can really be useful but not essential. If we're talking about pocket picks here, Bunny Hopper, obviously, compensate for speed, again, while you're in the air. If you're a good shooter while you're jumping, that's an idea. Anything that helps your alchemy weapon, obviously. Alchemy proficiency, mana regen, extra mana, all that stuff is good. Anything that can make you tankier, because of your lack of speed, you will take damage, no matter if you like it or not. So ignore wounds, endure, bloodlust, even Warcry and Vigilant will be of great help. Hero is a special pocket pick that I like to take on him, mostly because your alchemy weapon is going to hit like a truck, so champion enemies you're going to be able to get through fairly quickly if you focus them down as soon as you see them spawn. So they're not going to be able to really do any damage to you before you kill them. And you're going to get some extra drop rate, some extra drops for that. When I'm talking pocket picks here, these are very, very, very situational picks that rely on a lot of other perks that you might have. But that can, if you do get that combination, it can be devastatingly effective. Unnatural strength is huge here. You're already slower than average. Most of the enemies can already catch up to you. Unnatural strength will make you slower, but it will make you a lot tankier. And if you already have the tools to peel enemies off of you, it can be incredibly effective. You're going to be so much tankier. Or even if you have a couple of level of haste to compensate for the walking speed loss. That can also be pretty good. If you have anything, revenge, the shockwave, the poison aura, anything that allows you to peel off enemies combined with unnatural strength is gonna be a pretty big deal here. Another one that I absolutely love, and if you can combine it with an unnatural strength, it becomes gigantic. Scaredy Cat. Speed boost every single time you get hit. If you're able to combine that with other on-hit effects, such as revenge, it becomes extremely effective. But be warned, the speed increase here, it's smart. It's written there. Its speed is heavily increased. The speed increase you get with Scaredy Cat is dramatic. It can make your weapons a lot harder to aim, so it requires a fair bit of practice to be effective with it. But when you do get to that point, you're going to be pretty much impossible to catch, and you're going to kill everything before they even touch you. Actually, they're going to touch you once, and then you'll kill everything. And finally, let's go for Amulet. It's really about peel again. So, Shock Amulet, it seriously hurts your enemies, and it does stun. It's not written there, but it stuns. So very good. Freeze Amulet, again, very good. Amulet of Protection gives you invincibility frames for a bit. That's never a bad pick. Health and Mana Recovery for a while. Regeneration Amulet should probably be your number one pick in terms of amulets, especially with Algorab. Because suddenly you're allowed to play a little bit riskier whenever you activate that. And it allows you to just stand there and burst down bosses. Poison Amulet, again, big poison cloud around you. That is very, very useful. Golden Amulet doubles alchemy attack rate for some time. Well, abuse your strength. Yes, you want that. Anyways, I think that is it for this Algorab tutorial, and basically just telling you guys how to really maximize your use of Algorab the Alchemist. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to like, share, subscribe. As for me, I'm Raven. I'll see you soon.